A big thank you to EA for sponsoring today's video.
Hello Hungry Hunters! In this video, Andy and I are going to be reviewing Wild Hearts, a new game to the hunting genre that kept impressing us every step of the way. We've been fortunate enough to get early access to Wild Hearts and have accumulated about 60 hours into it, so in this video we're going to be covering things like the KEMONO, KARAKURI, weapons, multiplayer experience, favorite things from the game, and of course, final thoughts on the game and whether you should add this to your list.
Please keep in mind this is a review and not a guide. We've also made sure to not include some of the later features and KEMONO of the game so you can watch it spoiler free. So let's get into it.
Upon starting the game, you are greeted with beautiful scenery and immersive storytelling. We adore this game. Simply put, there's a lot of creativity to this game, and if we had to describe it in one word, it would be ambitious, but more on that later.
Overall, the game lends itself to a bit of everything, and our initial impression of the game has not changed since being impressed. Now before we go forward, do be warned, having the right specs for your computer will make your time much more enjoyable. Kat and I unfortunately had to adjust the graphics of the game since it kept slowing us down.
Let's talk about the KEMONO, the quote-unquote stars of the game. These are the creatures you'll be hunting throughout the game in order to progress in both skill and armor.
They look absolutely amazing, and their combat as well as how they interact with the world around them feels unique and crisp. As you hunt each KEMONO, they'll have their own tricks to look out for and will scale in difficulty as you progress the game, unlocking KARAKURI as you continue to go further and further. It's interesting, it's almost like the creatures themselves teach you how to play the game.
There will be KEMONO that will be more defensive, while others will be more aggressive. And because of that, you'll have to adapt to different playstyles in order to find what works best for you.
Now, when it comes to the pace of the monsters, this is where things can get a little tricky. If this is your first time playing something like this, be sure to upgrade and really learn the mechanics of the game before you proceed to the next hunt. Kat and I made this mistake, and oh boy, was it bad. Okay. Outside of that, however, at times you'll find as though the pacing is just right, while other times it will feel like the difficulty jumps immediately. So keep in mind, the KEMONO are there to teach you something. It's up to you to figure it out.
Let's take a brief look at the KARAKURI. The KARAKURI are the mechanisms in which you can conjure throughout the game. We have three types. The basic KARAKURI, which can be used for exploration around the map, as well as hunting. The Dragon KARAKURI, which excel in helping you prepare for the hunt as well as traversing the environment in different ways, where the basic KARAKURI cannot. And the Fusion KARAKURI, which take one or more basic KARAKURI and combine them to give you something brand new.
This is where the diversity of the game can really come in. With the inclusion of the KARAKURI, it will almost feel like you're not limited to just one style of the hunt. You have KARAKURI that make you more airborne, and some that keep you more grounded. The interactions you have with the KARAKURI can give you a unique experience when hunting and give you promising ways to make it more immersive and suited to your style.
Now we know there are a lot of people that are on the fence about this, and to be honest, we were too at the beginning. The construction of these almost makes it feel like it's out of place in a hunting genre game, but interestingly enough, when you start playing, that thought immediately goes away. The gameplay feels smooth and less clunky as you've been chaining things together, really allowing you for a fun and different take on this game.
In Wild Hearts, there are 8 weapons in total. The KARAKURI Katana, the Bladed Wagasa, the Maul, the Nodachi, the Bow, the KARAKURI Staff, the Claw Blade, and the Hand Cannon.
If you want to get up and close with the KEMONO and deal massive damage, the Maul and the Nodachi are your best friend. If you want to be lethal and run in and out while attacking the KEMONO, the KARAKURI Katana and the Bladed Wagasa are great choices. For those who like sticking a little further away, the bow and hand cannon will be the best choices. And for a mix of everything, the claw blade and KARAKURI staff give you variety in your attacks.
After trying all the weapons, the truth is, there's not a lot of depth to them, which is actually a good thing. Alongside the KARAKURI, you have many options how to hunt, and in picking a weapon, don't think you're limited to one style simply because of your choice. With the interaction of KARAKURI, each weapon can function close to another weapon, thanks to things like added mobility, aerial attacks, and element additions.
We recommend actually trying all the weapons at the training zone, which conveniently teaches you all the combos you'll need to know in order to use it in a hunt.
The big thing we want to say about multiplayer is that it really feels like you'll need teamwork in this game. The interactions you have during the hunt include things like shielding each other, reviving each other, and even creating karakuri for which other players can use, which all add to the feeling of not being so alone in this giant world.
Outside of the hunt itself, you could even progress through the story together, something we adored while playing. As long as both or all three of you are at the same place in the story, you'll progress through it together all at the same time, making the experience seamless and fun. So we have two favorite things from this game. First are the Tsukumo, tiny karakuri creatures you can find throughout the game, which actually serve a huge purpose. Outside of exploring your surroundings, each time you pick up a Tsukumo, you'll be awarded cogs. These are materials you can use in order to increase the amount of thread you can hold, something that's necessary if you're looking to construct more karakuri throughout the game.
The second is the overall balance of the game. To us, there's no single aspect of this game that really stands out more than another. The hunt for KEMONO is challenging and fun, the exploration gives you a sense of wonder, and the mechanics of the game give you something to look forward to whenever you craft, explore, or build something. Simply put, our favorite thing about the game is that we don't have a favorite thing.
Overall, although we adore this game, it isn't without its faults. The pacing in this game can feel at times as though you're underleveled even if you've done everything. There are other times where you'll feel like the pacing is just right, and at other times too slow. This is definitely a game we recommend you don't rush into. Every time we tried to do that, we found ourselves frustrated or questioning what the next step is, or what the game wants us to even do.
At other times, it can feel clunky with karakuri everywhere, and sometimes, due to the nature of the game, karakuri may not work as you intended them to, leaving you in some pretty risky situations. If we had one thing to say about Wild Hearts, it would be, although it is an amazing game to play and really gave us something to look forward to, it is also a very ambitious game. What we mean by ambitious is that there are many good things and many potentially great things that can come from this, but they need to be taken care of. It is a young game with so much potential, and in order to get there, it will need a community of hunters in order to raise it.
So, what do you think? Is Wild Hearts a game that you'll be picking up? Are there other questions you'd like answered? Let us know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay hungry.